Welcome to Vinyl Vampire. We are here to discuss the many ins and outs of the obscure records that you love. And tonight we're going to do a whole batch prepared by our crack production staff. And we're going to start off doing it at least start off doing it anonymously, and we'll see how it goes. What do we have here? Looks like a James Taylor album. Yes, it is. James Taylor. Heroin addict, first thing comes to mind. Pretty good guitarist, singer, second thing comes to mind. Pretty popular in the early 70s. Third thing, don't have any of his albums, but that's not to say they're not worthwhile. Pretty quintessential, most successful of the early 70s singer-songwriters are up there. That's not to say he's the best, but that's not to say he's the worst. Next. Here we have, I always love picking out an inch shrink album, or better yet, still sealed. Here's Richie Havens. This is actually an album I'd like to hear. Don't have it. Of course, he's the opening act in the Woodstock movie, and he's really good in that. And he's one of the really probably top black artists of the 60s, I would say, in the folk, rock, blues, whatever bag. Next we have, I think we may have seen this album before, Johnny Cash, one of his early, it's the Sun Record album, so everyone knows Sun Record's Elvis's first record company. And this is when Johnny was more of his rockabilly self. Like the preceding album, like to see it, hear it, don't have it, like to get it. What's this? This looks like Dire Straits, who I guess must be living up to their name now since nobody knows anything of them anymore, at least to my knowledge. But then again, I don't keep up with groups like this. We're just pulling these out randomly thanks to my crack production staff somewhere over there. Making movies. This was sort of big in the early 80s. I was in college, I believe. Big video song or two on this. They were good, but they were never really one of my favorites. A little too polished, produced, and mellow at the same time. Not that that's bad, but add all that up together, it spells sort of boring sometimes. Girl from Ipanema, good cover. I like to put this on the wall. Very cool, immediately 60s feel thing to it. This is, one of those sort of like schlocky, kind of like never know who's behind it kind of records. Probably all instrumental. But then again, I don't know. Anyway, interesting. Next we have Chuck Berry at the Fillmore Auditorium. Could this be the one that had, no, I don't think this is the one that has My Ding-a-Ling on it. A big novelty song in like 71 or so, because this does look earlier than that. Usually the Mercury albums have the years on the side. It's hard to see, this one may not. Certainly looks like about a 60, just from the looks of it, the writing is like a 68 or something like that. Great year, by the way. Phil Ochs, another classic folk 60s guy. He would be up in the top pantheon of both well-known and perhaps successful ones on the great Elektra Records, which put out many great folk and rock records in the 60s. Classic laminated wood, thick cardboard cover. Not sure if this isn't his first album, but it's like the second or third or something. This is probably really good. And we now have, a real classic here for a lot of people, not particularly myself, although I don't have this and I haven't listened to it and it's sort of like all together, so I guess I can't say. It's certainly highly regarded usually. The band, Levin Helm just died, Levon Helm just died, and you have, so Manuel and Danko are dead, and you just got Robertson and Hudson left. They're a good group. Everybody knows this. A lot of people know the songs in this. You know, the weight is a big one. And to wrap it up, we have one of my favorites from the San Francisco scene, the Moby Grape, the great first Moby Grape album. This is like truly one of the best rock albums of the 60s. An all-time classic. It's a must. You must get it right away. Okay. Oh, and yeah, and one more thing. The finger, the fuck you finger, there it is. Don't forget that.